The definition of brownfield from the Environmental Protection Agency is abandoned, idled, or underused industrial and commercial properties where expansion or redevelopment is complicated by real or perceived environmental contamination. Some estimates claim that there are more than 450,000 brownfields currently in the United States. Others suggest that there are 5 million acres of abandoned industrial property in urban areas. Researchers at the Urban Land Institute estimate that there are 150,000 acres of brownfield sites that exist per major U.S. city. These estimates are not fully accurate because there are no official nationwide counts of existing sites. The term brownfield was first introduced on June 28, 1992, at a U.S. congressional hearing of the Northeast Midwest Congressional Coalition. Also in 1992, the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission authored policies to resolve issues of brownfield sites in their county. The EPA then took the outline of policies passed by the commission and selected Cuyahoga County as its first brownfield pilot in 1993. Fear of liability has prevented many potential developers from building on brownfield sites. The Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation, and Liability Act, also known as Superfund, is a law passed December 10, 1980, that summarizes the liability, enforcement, and cleanup requirements regarding contaminated sites. Any property that may have environmental health risks or contain high levels of contamination, as well as any site requiring widespread time and resources to remediate, are identified as Superfund sites. The Superfund is financed by a tax on chemical and petroleum industries, as well as any recovered monies from responsible parties. Superfund sites represent only a small quantity of the overall number of contaminated sites at around 13,000 total sites. The National Priorities List is a national database containing 10% of the 13,000 sites. In addition, the EPA maintains a database known as CER-CLIS that identifies hazardous sites that will likely eventually be placed onto the NPL. For example, as of May 1, 2010, there were 30 CER-CLIS sites listed in the city of St. Louis. The remaining non-Superfund or CER-CLIS sites are considered brownfield and typically have more limited or low to moderate levels of contamination. Therefore, property owners must carefully manage past and future liabilities that are associated with the environmental history of the property. What is considered a brownfield property varies between states and local jurisdictions. Brownfield sites can be former service stations, dry cleaners, factories, warehouses, parking lots, aircraft hangars, lots where heavy machinery was stored, abandoned railroads, railroad switching yards, airstrips, bus depots, and landfills. Many state and local governments have been induced to identify eligible brownfield sites relative to their governed area. This eliminates any confusion or dispute as to whether a particular site can properly be identified as a brownfield. Michigan, for example, passed state legislation in 1994 listing all brownfield property located in the state.